Hey, hello everyone. Welcome to tapaScript Lab, and we are in our fifth episode today. And I have a guest today. He is Keshav. Some of you who is watching this podcast may already know him. You might find him on various meetups already if you're in Bangalore. Uh, and I met him probably in one of those meetup, Keshav, for the first time. If I'm not wrong, where did I meet you first time?
We meet in the React meetup, one of the React meetup.
Yeah, one of the React meetup probably. So before we get started and start chatting with Keshav a lot of stuff about dev life, developer journey, and things that we are doing right, we are doing wrong. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Yeah, thank you, Tapas. I always call you Tapas because Tapas means search, search means Google. It's a Gujarati means Tapas. It's your name is Tapas, so forget me about that. I keep remember people like that one. Yeah, so yes, hi. My name is Keshav Mohta. I'm working right now in JP Morgan Chase as SDE, and I'm working here last 3 years, and I'm in Bangalore for 3 years. Before that, I was working in the Barclays, Pune, for 3 years, and my long journey. I have done 10th in the 99, and then I came go to the quota, and then I see the learning the web, the Yahoo Messenger type, right? That time I started that one. I learned the XYZ of internet first, that how
Hmm.
things are cool, and then I understand it, and then try to learn it after the engineering. During the engineering, I did not learn HTML with TR and TD. Where TD comes before or TR comes before, I don't know till the fourth year. And then we started learning in 2009. And after that, I have been many companies, small companies. Today we call these startup. But I have been Pune, I have been Jaipur, I have been Chandigarh, I have been Hyderabad, I have been different cities. So I like to wander the cities. And my total like backend front end, I have worked with PHP MySQL earlier. Now React is going to be PHP. So I know my old days. So PHP was there. jQuery was evolving that time. I was the sole viewer of that one. I keep using the jQuery, and jQuery really interests me about that how JavaScript is so good, means how it can be. I was working the PHP, everything right in the star question mark PHP. So yes, and after that, completely moved to the front end. Now I know the React. I worked in React. TypeScript, my soulmate. I love TypeScript. So TypeScript since Angular days. So Angular, no, right now I'm learning Astro. One of the meetup, one of the guys told about the Astro, and I keep learning it. And I have made 3 websites based on the Astro, and they are live. So Astro, then Hono JS. So I'm keep exploring the new things, how things are, because that makes me intriguing. कि ये regular type we are doing the job. Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much about me.
Yeah, I know. Like Keshav is, I think, one of the most interesting character that I have came across in the from the technical world, and I'm sure like the folks who are watching this, listening this, will get a glimpse of it for sure. All right. So today's discussion, what we want to focus on, folks, is about dev life and some of the things that, as a developer, we should be doing right. We may not be doing right, and the right and wrong. This judgment is kind of very subjective, and we are not like judges here who are sitting and going to tell you like, hey, this is the one thing that you have to do to be successful in your life. But banking on some of the experience, if I put my 20 years plus Keshav's, more than decades,
15 years.
yeah, 15
Experience is
years,
15 years.
yeah, 15 years. I think we have some sense of accountability to let the younger generation know what you need to focus on and how to kind of lead your developer life. So that's what the focus of today's discussion. So Keshav, to get started with, I know that you mentioned that you are with PHP, JavaScript, of course, React, now Astro. I think I find you somewhat who can learn a lot of technologies that you want to pick up. If you're interested in something, you just pick up, start building stuff, and try to see, explore, like, that you have a long term interest towards that particular thing or not. So, what are the things that you feel that a developer, especially a beginner, who wants to get started or have a lot of passion about or interest, I would want to say passion, interest about coding and development, what are the key things that someone should have in mind so that they can sustain it for a long term learning goal?
Yes. Yeah, this is because. When we start, we don't know what to start. Everybody is running. We are doing that. Okay, Java kar lete hain. People are doing Java. People are doing. My suggestion is, means not suggestion, is my experience based on that one. You sharpen your craft, one of the craft. Don't watch for many things, because right now it's AI world. Everything's are doing everything. So you feel like, okay, I don't know this, I don't know this. Don't get in that trap. Okay, don't get in learning. You know why I like the web development most? Because Java, PHP, what is the problem there? Earlier, I can say the Java story. When I was in college, we started learning Java from a teacher. Okay, this
Hmm.
always teacher's effect is always effective in my life, whole the life. Like, and Java teachers, we got there. He started writing and he said, don't come with the notepad. You have to write. You have to remember it. He said, okay. Few days we remembered something. Then the classes name comes. Now there is uppercase, lowercase. If you fail it, something that is too much. Means he makes Java very hard to learn. So I give it up. I will not learn it. Oops, type things like. Then PHP was the picture. PHP was very lenient type. You can run it and you can run it very. Java, we need Java. JRE dalo, JDK dalo. Then JRE run the whole things. PHP like XAMPP. Earlier was XAMPP and WAMP. You install XAMPP.exe. PHP MyAdmin is there. You started writing. And web development thing, HTML, CSS, JavaScript. Why this is so easy? Because you can build it very soon. You just open the code, don't open the anything. Okay, open the browser, go to the console, go to the dev tools. You can play with the CSS. You can play with the JavaScript using CSS snippets. You can create a file.html and it will run. So it will not take any much effort of the tooling and everything. So I find that is easy to learn, but people like in Java or something backend. Backend also have very much scope. So first I say foundation is important. You have to learn the foundations. Not the directly React JS you are learning. You will be efficient with React. Then later you come to know, okay, React to aata hai. Now they're going something else. You feel like if it was React, I would do it better.
Hmm.
So that dilemma will you again find you only React jobs, and you know this much React because you started learning React. You stop at somewhere because your work is there. Now React is evolved as soon as possible. So you don't know React 18, 19 a little bit, and then you again feel, okay, I don't get React also. So I say learn JavaScript. That is the key. Learn HTML. Learn CSS. That are the key, because web development, I can say web development, mobile development, I don't do web development. I find it very, again, that Java is Swift type, right?
Yeah.
Camel casing is fixed. You have to remember that one. I don't remember. I want to create my own method. I want to call it my own way. So that's I say that learn the fundamentals, and learning the fundamental is very easy. You have to know first, you have to ask the question as much as possible, and ask to the right person. If you asking the backend guy to about HTML, he can have our understanding, and
Hmm.
you will get to know that whatever you know, you keep it like this way, and don't ask. You validate also. Something you are asking, they said something, you have to validate if possible. Like a CSS, I always CSS, HTML. You want to validate, you validate right now in the browser. You don't need anything. And authentic sources. Like many of the interview I have taken, they said, okay, what I always ask, okay, if you stuck somewhere, what you will do? They said, I will search. Okay. Where you will search? You will search on the state or Google. Now in Google, how do you define that this is the right way? Because some of the blogs comes, and blog person is writing some of their problems, and you understand that, okay, this is problem is going, and you find the snippets, try to copy paste. You just learn that way. You go to the what? Where is the authentic source? What is the JavaScript? Where is the Java? Like PHP.php.net is authentic one. You can go to the JavaScript is very vast. So we have to find. So MDN. Whatever you
MDN.
search,
Yeah.
space MDN. That is short trick. You go to the MDN. It's very easy. It's very good. And if something is missing, still that one you try it yourself, because you don't need much to know the foundations. You are not building something application. You are learning a simple things like JavaScript speech API. Yesterday I was seeking speech API. So I said, what is the speech API?
Hmm.
So I go to the web speech, I see few of things. Okay, I understand. They give the example. I understand. Okay, how it works. Now I think, how do I apply in my work here? That is the most important thing. Don't learn anything. Learn whatever being used to apply in your code right now. I always in my career, like 15 years, whatever I try to learn, I immediately apply on my work. Whatever work I'm doing in the office time, because I have the options. to work in the HTML. I have the option to work in the CSS. I have the option to work in the JS. Might be I am learning like I have a spread operator. Maybe my project is not doing ES6 more than ES5. It is not supporting, but I can learn in the JavaScript browser itself. So learn and apply. Don't remember. Remembering the things will make you very means very short. Your short span of career means if you remember like DSA, I try to remember. I can't remember, so I give it up.
Yeah, I think, yeah, great. Some of the great points you made. One is like definitely fundamentals. Don't really screw up there. Spend a lot of time in doing fundamentals. I have started an initiative recently on YouTube. It's called F for Fundamentals, and I'm kind of started teaching things like what is authentication, authorization, what is API, what is caching, because I see people getting so much worried about, man, next is caching. What is this? There is first understand what is caching,
Yeah.
understand what are the caching strategies, right? Today Next.js, tomorrow something else will come, but if you don't understand the basic of caching, you will be struggling everywhere.
And here is a catch in the caching. This is good to learn. Now again, like as a junior, I said, okay, I want to learn caching. It will take 4 to 5 days, 6 to 7 days to learn caching. I am now perfect. Okay, I try to do. Don't learn that much. It is not
That
necessary
was not required, yeah.
because foundations are always easy. Alphabets are always easy. ABCD are only 26 letters. You learn the sentence later. That are very easy, very basic. Casing, no 2 4 things, and don't go for 50 websites. 50 websites or 50 content, you got confused. Just stick with 2 websites or 3 websites in your life means for the authenticity. For
Yep.
asking questions on the right channel is the key.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
I have been asking in like Stack Overflow. I have a 53,000 reputations. I am top 10% developer, top 100 developer in the India since last 8 years. There is a states. You can see the states of the Indian top developer. There is a Stack Overflow. There are 33 websites in the Stack Overflow, like Hinduism Stack Exchange. You can ask the Hinduism question. English Stack Exchange, Workplace Stack Exchange, Meta Overflow, Meta Stack Overflow. You go, and when you see the things, you see so many things to learn. Don't stick with I have to build a website of shopping and I am keep learning what kind of shopping website. That is not the end. You see how much things are. There are so much variations. So try to learn, see everything, and pick like this is the good things I want to learn. This will add on, make me add-ons.
Absolutely. So we also touch based, Keshav, about the three pillars of web development
Yeah.
like HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And this has always been my curious world. Like these are like alphabets. If we talk about the web programming, and you told that fundamentals are easy, but I see people crying that CSS is very hard. So if alphabets are easy, why CSS is so hard, which is the alphabet of web programming?
CSS is not hard. I recently learned CA course. I don't remember the course, but that was very good. That CSS mastering the CSS require practice, and it takes several failed attempts before you get it.
Hmm.
And many developers haven't gone through that, so they only remember the bad things. That's the CSS. Like CSS is very easy. You like color change karna, you have to go there, and there are so many good things. CSS like Tailwind. People are using Tailwind. I literally means I Tailwind is the last resort for me. Okay, if somebody is using, I said okay. You have means to H1 tag and near H1 tag you write high. Okay, and there are 33 word of the key classes. You fall in the trap. Okay, लिखना क्या था? What was the text? You are only missing that. That I found it because Bootstrap was good. I was learning Bootstrap. Then I go CSS grid system. So good, grid system is so good. Flex, I never learned Flex. Flex is 1D, CSS is 2D. Later I come to know the Flex, but grid, when I come to know the grid, I love in it. How good it is. It is programming language. CSS is, people say CSS, there are so many methods in the CSS. Kelsey use, clamp, attr, color mix. There are many, CSS are many methods. So people say CSS is, that's why tough. Because you are learning the methods, you are learning the programming. JavaScript has the methods.
Hmm.
If you, and CSS, like triology, again I always say analogy, HTML, CSS, JavaScript. What analogy is? It's a Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. To Brahma means HTML is Brahma, is never complain. You write something wrong, it will never fall. Parts error, syntax error never will come. Brahma will just develop. It's a dome. And even Sanskrit name Brahma's head is called dome. And CSS is like a Vishnu. CSS is a different avatar. Like CSS has many variations. Vishnu has a many variations. CSS is a dark theme, light theme. We have a dark, light. We have a Balma CSS. We have a Chakra UI. So CSS is like Vishnu. It's keep changing. It's running the website. And JavaScript is a Mahesh. If you keep it right, it will be good. And if you try to mess it with, it will make a Tandav. It will mess your. So JavaScript is a JS is a Mahadev. So we say I learned like Dev. We say Dev developer. I keep it remember like Dev. They are Dev English Dev, and there is a senior developer. They are Mahadev. Like so, Mahadev should know the JS and they know the foundation.
Yeah, I'm sure people who are watching this from India at least are getting the context. I mean, these are really hilarious context, but I'm able to map them one on one as you are saying. So awesome.
Yeah, yeah. Keep attaching the things because during the learning studying time, I was always. मुझे पढ़ना लिखना बहुत पसंद है. I write to write. That's why I write a code. And
Hmm.
writing better way. Writing code is like a poem. You have to write writing is a poetry. Coding is a poetry. You have to write is user is logged in then let logged in. So it's a statement, and you have to method like that one. User is logged in, then. So it's a poetry. If you write your code so much good, you love it, and I like to write it. So like Java is that thing makes me very interesting. I keep attaching the things with the some things like priology, okay, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, or something like promises. There are many documents I promise. I make a promise with a friend, and friend either can give me money or can't give me. That's a rejection and resolve. You have to relate that one. You
Hmm.
have give four friends some monies. Okay, one of the friend will come and give you money. That a promise all settled or something race condition. Who will give you first? Then you will go ahead or not. You will stay there or not. There are many things, many new concepts coming. Just read it. Try to attach with your daily life. I like NPM. I give you one more example. NPM. Whenever I go to the whenever I go for the office, I remember NPM. I have to carry NPM. N for napkin, P for purse, M for mobile. So that NPM is my life. I have to keep NPM with me all the time.
Nice. So, as you suggested, like CSS is not hard, but it is something like you have to practice. I think practice is the main thing that you can do with CSS. But one thing also is like CSS is very vast. It's like ocean. You have a lot of stuff. So, is there any suggestions or any tips from your side, like where folks can focus on, or is there any kind of learning path for CSS who wants to really excel in CSS?
Yes, I can see. Like don't CSS is very vast. There are layout things, there are positioning things. Okay, I say whatever the latest things coming, we start from there because if you learning something like grid is new, flex is then before that positioning was there. You
Hmm.
position top absolute something. Don't learn that one. That is not required now in future. You will have to know the position things. Read one article, you understand some things like position by default position. What is the by default position of an element? If I ask you what is the by default position of the, it's a static, it's fixed, it's absolute relative.
Hmm.
So people say it's a fixed means something relative, but that is wrong. It's static. By default, is always static. So you have to know the basics and like grid, you go to the grid MDN. This is the key. MDN, go MDN. Grid systems. You just pick one of their method and try it immediately with your code.
Hmm.
Yes, with your open the HTML CSS, open the div, and try running it. And you can change the CSS running time. You don't need to build and rebuild again. So that's the and like new things color like some you have to improve light theme, dark and light theme, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
So there are many way to do the like CSS variables. I say CSS variables. You have to learn the CSS variables that are very important. So you make a CSS programming like all variables are there. You have to change the color all because what changes in the themes, black and dark theme. What changes? Actually, changes is only colors.
Yep.
Nothing else changes.
Yep.
Accessibility, what change? Accessibility only change the size of the font most of the times, size of the layouting. So when you implement accessibility, you have to know the layouting or how it's reading. Like you have to proper semantics, like details are there, summary are there, sections are there, articles are there, HTML first of all.
Hmm.
Then see what can be applied by that. If I details are there, how what are their features? Like details have open. When we open the details, Now details open, you want to apply the CSS something. How do you apply? So
Hmm.
you go to the CSS in details, or see there is a open, and when pseudo selector comes into picture, you have to know this is pseudo selector or pseudo elements. Then nesting, CSS nesting is a real nice feature. You go lace and SCSS was very famous because of the nesting things. You can nest everything. Now CSS nesting is by default in the code. By default in the CSS.
Hmm.
So whatever you write the CSS, just take that one and make it nested, and see whether it is working or not. So I was recently doing some nested, and there are two way, like greater than and and. I can use greater than because people use and because of the lace. So you try, and I found it like detail summary colon summary. You have to put a lingual space. Without space, it will not correct. So that
Hmm.
is very tedious. What you do if you stuck, go to the Stack Overflow, ask your question properly. I say asking your question on the right person with the right things on place, because you asking a mistake, oh, it is not working. People will not help you. They want to see what you try. You have to mention everything. This is I am trying. This is the code. You have to code. Why you are hiding? People are okay. I have to hide my code. Why are you hiding? It's a
Yeah.
logic. CSS. Why are you hiding? CSS is automatically visible all the time. So you make, or otherwise there is a long code, long bunch of code, because you have to take one little instance of that one, try to make it like your own situations. Most of the time what I do, like some problems are there, like my office projects are there, some accounts problems is coming, I have to sort some things. So I found it because I found, so what I do, most of the examples I take days, months. I said there is a month array, there is a days array, or there are colors array. So you will get a range automatically. Colors have a range, days have a range. One day, Monday, Tuesday, you have 7 variables. So you can set that like 1, 2, 3. You put a variable, not one, O1, A2. You set a variable. So variable naming convention. Then you CSS things, like you have to debug through the by VS Code. Sorry, the
They tools.
browser itself.
Hmm.
So once you write it, you say this is okay because you copied it somewhere. Now you have to play around. There are in the browser there is a see changes. You can save the changes itself. So you have to know the, like sometimes I do some changes in the console runtime, and as soon as I refresh, everything gone. Now again I have to remember, okay, what I write it, what color I said, what padding I said.
Hmm.
So there is a feature in the form itself browser. You have to save changes. You have to enable it experimental. Like changes should be saved, so automatically saved.
Correct.
Cases like positioning, layout, and nesting features, and dark theme, light theme. There are many methods. Like color talk, I give one of the color talk. That was most interesting. My first talk was the color talk. So like colors have so many variations in the colors, means so many variations of syntax in the colors. You can write one color in 46 type of syntax, like RGB, HSL, RGBA, then HWB, then OKLCH, then OKLAB. There are new CSS color dimension are coming. When you learn that color, you learn the science. You say, okay, this is the physics. They are
Hmm.
doing a dynamic like and transition animations. Now animation CSS animations are most interesting. So animation is very easy. Scroll bar is the latest recent edition. But before that, you want to learn. There are two CSS. They're very confusing to me also. Transition and one is animate. What it does? Transition animate. So transition do the animation with some animate, and animate also do the thing, translate X Y Z. So transition, go to the transition. CS there are only 10 or 12 property. You just pick the property, use the property, try it, you understand it. You
Hmm.
don't need to remember. You just, okay, I have to write one keyframe, add a keyframe, how keyframe added, 0%, 2%, there are some different variations. Always know the variation of the syntax. You don't remember, okay, I am doing it now. Future the variations like CSS recently, 3 days back, they have changed the length. Now they are coming with new notation. Instead of comma, they are using semicolon. Now semicolon and comma, you have to know like color whenever you're writing color. So knowing the basic, again I say, you have to learn and apply as soon as possible. And it is very much possible to apply.
Cool. Yeah, I think that's a great details. I'm sure that folks who are watching us, listening to us, will benefit from that. So to move on, I want to take the another side of dev life. Right, one is about getting started with the basics. We spoke about it specifically with the web developers and all. The other side is about side hustles, projects. There are a lot of other things that you actually can do beyond your office hours, beyond your office work. And I think, with my experience, that you must be indulging yourself in doing that, because that's your pure learning scope.
Exactly.
There is no way I'm saying that you should not be working at office. You should be working at office. That's your bread and butter. But your learning is somehow limited if you are passionate about something else. There's something else that fuel is very much possible with side hustles, side projects, and all. And Keshav, I know like you are active on open source. You have been creating a lot of tools, by fun. I don't know by what means. Um, how did you get started with this particular thing? Somebody told you, or it just
No,
came
no, no. Yeah,
naturally?
yeah. This is naturally. Actually, like you say, office working in office is correct. You have to work. Like I went to the office. I find it very boring because there is very regular. So I make it. You have to make it interesting. Like people are using some of the frameworks. There are few files like Angular. There are few 4 or 5 files we have to write all the times.
Hmm.
So I said, why don't I create? I have to use something like one snippets like VS Code have. I create a snippet. I write a keyboard shortcuts, and as soon I write, it will create that component, the basic boilerplate. Why should I write something? Because most of the times I am writing the boilerplate in main code. 3 days I am writing the main code. Whenever it's time to main code, my Jira ticket is getting out of the scope. So I make it interesting. How do I make it myself, that make it productive? Like your tool should be smarter than you. I always say, you work on the VS code, you make your code, editor is your friend. It should
Hmm.
be smarter than you if you want to make it utilize, like spacing. I am saying spacing and everything. I have my code, I have different project, I have a project manager, so I can say I'll say that you have to manage. First of all, your work is not much burden, because how to manage the work, and after that, like open source, how it comes. Like why I thought about it. Like there are in 2024 there are stats. There are, I think, 22 billion websites are there,
Hmm.
and out of them 82% are inactive, and still there are 20 million websites are running. And India there are 57 lakhs websites. Out of them 82% are like 80% are a business. And one of the survey comes like India still need, like suppose 20 million websites are there, they are running, we are building, who is using? In India, I see the context, like still India need 65 millions different kind of website India required. I'm not bargaining that, like book my show. Now we want to book a ticket. We have only one option: book my show. Right? First option comes in the my book my show. If something like I have to book some things, Zomato, Swiggy, there are two things. E-commerce website we have things. So these are not only things. They are in outer world. They have barber ka bhi hai, Nike ka. They have websites. They are doing. So there are many things. So I come to know that in Indian context we need many things, and it's my right to give it back to the society. If I can't do it, nobody can do it, because I know it's very simple. Being simple is a very, so that's I create, like my kids were there. I was creating, like I find it like if I write A, press A, and A will come. How easy it is. Just a and we have to show the A. Now B, press, B will come. Add event listener, B, nothing else. It's a very simple. I find it there is no website. Literally no websites. Without any login, without any aid, and not on the computer keyboard, not on the mobile. I want to make kids to come to the keyboards, because keyboard will make you early learning. Life will be built on the keyboard, not on the keypad. We are happy that our kids are learning videos on mobile, study videos. We are happy, but still there are problems. You
Hmm.
find the problems, like their eyes are getting wet, their
Yeah.
innovations are getting. So why we don't have our kids, our next generation? We should give, and we can give, we can do it. So I write it like A press and A comes. So like that, and why I learn from the kids first, because kids are the age then we start learning how to learn. So I always amuse that how they learn, because this is the first time they learn. We are doing something learning, so we have to think about, because once we are kids, our
Yeah.
thought process are like that one. We will learn by that one. Suppose somebody learn by looking at something, somebody learn by reading only. Like I like to read most and then apply. Somebody like to doing things and then do it. So learning process. So I find it. That's why then your creativity comes into the picture. You say A, okay, A comes, and A now you design the A. Everything
Hmm.
is the UI. You make a big A, okay, big A, smart font and everything. So now kid will understand that A curvature is like this one. Maybe I am writing wrong A. If I teach my kids, So I know there is the key. There is the websites. If I write B, B will comes. Now smaller case, lower case. Best handwriting is there, right? You don't need to worry about it. If I try to teach it, it will be problem. So I created. Now I added a visual one, like I add a Apple background there. So I
Hmm.
found it where is the website unsplash.com free pictures. You have to take care of these things also. You should not copy anything and everything. So I did that one. Now I think like that one, uh, like we capture the. This is one of the website I like is live. So I want to talk about it a little bit. So like whenever our kids, we want to capture the memory of our kids, right? We want to capture their how they behave and how we capture the records, videos. We capture their images. But do we capture their audio? Do we capture how they pronounce A very first time clearly? How they pronounce B? Some people, some kids are very cutely pronounce T, cutely pronounce S. You want to capture it, you record it something, but there is nothing like that one. So what I did, I put with my daughter, I say, I will show you some things and you keep speaking. So 3 seconds, 4 seconds, she write A to Z completely. Okay. Now I record it and I attach with the A. Now they press A comes, A visually comes and then sound appears. Now my little daughter will stand. The little daughter said, I want to learn it. I open the websites, I put it there. Her elder sister is not at home, but she can hear the elder sister's voice. So I
Nice.
attach their audio. Now I got one more next step. We want to capture handwritings. How they write A. Your A and my A is different. So what I did, there is a calligraphy things. I asked my daughter to write your ABCD in your language. I do it in, I create a font for that one. And now A coming in the her font. A audio is coming, A image is coming, and you can toggle in everything. Now I add my daughter. So this is the innovation you think about. These very little things. It's not a very big things. You have to think little that how do I add it? How do I build it? Writing A and coming A is so simple, and being simple is the most complex thing in the world.
Yep.
Being simple person is the most complex. We can't be simple. So that is the key. You try, you think problems around you. How can you solve that? Can you solve that? And is it easy? It is not time consuming. I say it is not time consuming. My job is that one. I have to write one code. I don't take times. I don't shoot. बस procrastination नहीं होना चाहिए.
Hmm.
थोड़ा हो तो चलेगा. But you
Hmm.
write somehow because right earlier what I do, I write it code. I write HTML, CSS, and by that way I learn so much about the hosting and everything. How I start, I create a one page HTML, CSS inside that one. I create a little bit fancy things, and whenever my kid asks, I run npm run dev and that local host will comes. I said, why don't you create a website? And because I have many pages, then I Express.js come into the picture. I add Express.js so that my whole pages will comes together. Now I have my folder structure. Now I have to build it. Then I know there is one file required. I always doing in my jobs. I don't need that. What is the requirement of that one? Now I come to know I have to build one page. So I need web page or something built to. They will create a one index.js. Then I added, then I come to know we have to APIs call, we have to know that localhost, they are calling localhost. I deploy
Hmm.
it, they are calling localhost. I say, okay, okay. We have to API handling also. So I am doing a lot of things, but means doing it since long. I make it habit. अच्छा ऐसा होता है API बनाना है. There are code applications. I know what are the conventions, and then I do it. But when I try it myself, I learn it forever.
That's the best way. So, without making your hands dirty, it is something that impossible to learn, at least for the long term. I mean, एक thing तो है कि there is chat GPT, there is of course Stack Overflow. There is always that notion of getting the things which are already been done, already been made. I can always speak that and I can make it work. But at the end of the day, you have to understand like what you are picking up, because otherwise it's very very difficult to put your own innovations on top of it.
Yeah, everybody is writing like many of the interview I take so much interview that everybody have Wink music cloned. I said what I will do with the clone. That is funny things. You are cloning. Do you understand it? Then well and good. All the best for you. If I am give you one like India context, I see the Bhavi Nagar Ola they are saying the Indian context. I give you very one example Indian context. There are families in Indian families. We have a family's name, right?
Okay, you did this, so it came.
Oh, I see. Who did it? like
No, it's a
like
gesture. So if you do this,
oh
you
wow.
will get, see.
Oh my god, really? Something like that. Oh my god, Diwali again. So yeah, so I what I thought. Like now, why people are not thinking it? Like we have a relationships names. हमारे यहाँ अंकल सारे अंकल नहीं है. We called it mama, we called it kaka, we called it
Yep.
chacha. We have a mashi, we had a mosaji, we had a dadi sasur. So we have a proper name of every relationship.
Mm.
Why don't we create? This is the DSA best DSA structure problems. You want to create a family tree, not like I asked one person to create a family structure tree. What he did, he go to the Javed Akhtar's Wikipedia. She has two wives, three children. I don't want that end result. I want is very simple. First, don't get is a like possible scenario. Just take one parents, one mother, one father. Keep your idea. I want to create a family tree. That is very easy and very means very intriguing. You run the data structures. Like data structure, I say AI, data structure and algorithms AI can solve because data structure is a fixed set of rules, fixed set of problems. You
Mm.
just prompt it, it will give the answers. Why don't you ask the real questions, real problems,
Mm.
and don't ask? You find it, you generate it. That I want to do it like that way. Like I have a color extensions. What I
Mm.
thought, like VS Code. What I thought, like I have a CSS file. All the times I have to. I search it whether it is something like I have to pick all the colors in different variations. Now color like FFF is white, FF is white, FFFF 6 times is also white. Okay, FFF 4 times is also white. So there are variations. Like if they are hash 1 2 3 is means hash 112233. Either you write in 6 digit, either you write in 3 digit. If it is so I have to duplicate that one. So that is again it's a problem. There is a strings. If it is coming like this one, this is the notation. You have to find out what is the original. So you get the idea. So during that I do regular expressions. I find it very regular expression is the most complex thing. People thought regular expression is a brain in the pen. I love it. In the PHP, I was working the regular expressions because why people hate it? Regular expressions of email address. Why you are doing it? People are doing it since long. They are not getting it. There is long list of like 256 character more than the web. Don't you do it like regex match all. Regular expression is so interesting, so I use regular expression completely to scan the document. And regular expression like I have to scan again or not. I scan one things I again have to because regular expression do not give anything like you have to put it there cursor there like programming language. Then after is this line. So there are many way there are many flags. So and there are named captures. You want to like DDMMYY. You want to capture is a month area. So means a lot of things I learned because it was very interesting. When why I where do I get the examples? I know there is CSS. This is a real example. I have to write it. I have to convert it. Simple. You have to find the problems are near around you. You are
Mm.
not seeing it deep.
Other things that I'm curious to know, because you already told about the tools, you also telling about the VS Code usages. So I want to bit talk about the productivity as a developer, right? So something that you can do it in 2 hours, the same thing that you probably can get it done in maybe 1 hour or less at that time, provided you know like how to save time, how to make your work more efficient, how to use it, proper usage of the tools and all these things. You keep talking to me about VS Code extensions and all. So why don't you touch base about that and feel free to share your screen and show some of them to our audiences. Maybe they will be learning something new from you on the VS Code side.
Yes, definitely. That is talking is cheap. Show me the code.
Show, yeah, show the code.
Okay, so what, like you said, productivity. I always focus on the productivity. Like we have to make your tools smarter than you. It's not about a VS code. In browser, if you want to write some things, you want to, like I say, in the browser, I want to. You also have to like GitHub. You have to go to your one of the repo, right? Suppose this
Hmm.
is my repo. Okay, I have to go. I have to. So every time I have to go there and something like that. Why there is a search engine feature? If I write like GH, okay, and then I write temp vakt, I said vakt, one of the, so it is taking me directly to my repo. So
Hmm.
what I did it, I just go to the settings. There are like Jira tickets. Most of the time we working the Jira. Many times Jira tickets we have to either bookmark or something. You just keep the remember your numbers. You will get the Jira ticket easily. Like search settings, and you say manage your manage search engine is there. Go to there, manage search engines. What you do, like I have a GitHub, so what I do, I write some things and there is a percentage s. So I write my one, Okay, and
Hmm.
percentage only work like that one, percentages, and this is the shortcuts. So whenever I doing some things, you automatically keep this URL with me and automatically go to there.
Nice.
Like Jira tickets, like this is a Jira ticket. Suppose this is open Jira tickets. Okay, I have to write only number. Remember this one. So what I do, I just settings. I add something. I put it Jira. Okay, and I write it Jira for and right here. And I know after this one some number will come. Okay,
Hmm.
I write it. Okay, I keep it there. Okay, so this is I copy just, and what I do, I just paste it and I replace it with placeholder. Okay,
Hmm.
percentages. Okay, now this is apex score. So suppose I write some like apex. Okay, now what I do, I write apex dash tab. Okay, now 898. I will reach there by default.
Nice.
Whatever it is, 818. So these are the little hacks everywhere. Like browser has the many things, right? Browser has so many things like dev tools, $0, $1.
Yeah.
One of the package I created like one day. What it does, what is one day means this is very interesting mathematics. How many seconds are in the one day? 86,400, right?
Hmm.
How many milliseconds are there? So triple zero, right?
Hmm.
But this is an interesting mathematical expression also. What you do, what it is, I write source snippets. And yeah, this is also like you want to run some things, you just go to the source, go there, snippets, and write something, code, write your code there and run it. So you don't need browser, you don't need anything else. You
Hmm.
just write your code, new snippet, like I want to add date, okay, date, and write date.js. And this is like 5. Now, what 86,400, this value is equal to 5 to the power 5 into 4 to the power 4 into 3 to the power 3 into 2 to the power 2 into 1 to the power 1. So now in JavaScript, I want to write the square of that one. How do we write it? 5 star star 5. It means it's 5 in 5 to the power 5.
Correct.
Star 4 star 4. 3, and again I star 3 star 3 star 2, and where it is star 2. Sorry, star 2 and star 1 star 1. This is the exact number of that one. So this is very little things. I learned somewhere that this is the so I create a package of that one. By that, no, it's not that I create a package. By that way, I come to know how to create a package in
Hmm.
npm. I
Hmm.
learned to know npm package minimum requirement. I don't need React. I don't need anything. I just need one file. I just want it as a package. So I little bit learn how to npm runs, how to create package, how to test your code within this without installing, without publishing it. So there are
Hmm.
many things you learn by doing, because these are small things. Now you think about it, how can you attach the lower thing? This is now npm package, now VS Code extensions. So I said, how do I create the VS Code extension? So here are the some VS Code hacks I want to like some of the extensions like I use this package manager. So I have a different code. To pick
Hmm.
out I am using. I just extract it like take watcher. This is a different color, so that I can come to know this is different color. So by looking at it, I can know this is my this of the code, and this is different one. Sometimes you have want to learn what people say, they are remembering or open this one. You use this extension. This is project manager, and there are workspaces. This is the interesting workspace. You have to create always a workspace. So you
Hmm.
do your own settings in the workspace. Like I have this workspace. So I have these things only applicable to this one.
Yeah, I use it a lot, this workspace setting, because when I record video, that time I want the font to be bigger. When I'm coding, I want it to be
Yeah.
smaller. So I have different workspaces for that. Yeah.
So like now when you are coding it, there are three modes I want to highlight. There is a one is a screencast mode in the browser in the VS Code. If you
Okay.
go to the screencast mode, it will show your screen. Screencast mode enable. Okay. Now whatever I open it, okay, it will show me the code. Like I am doing Control K, it is showing me what I am pressing it. Control Z. So whatever I am doing, this is screencast mode. So whenever you open in the screencast mode and go with that one. So you
So
don't
that's a default setting, the screen.
default setting. You
Okay.
go to F1, toggle screencast mode, and every time you toggle, again screencast mode is off.
Hmm.
And second thing is a browser. There is a secret browser within the VS Code. There is a simple browser. You can open a simple browser. It will ask which look like I want to open it. I want to open kids. Yeah, this is once I run it. Uh, and like shortcut, even I write like npm run dev. I create aliases. npm run list. I have to create aliases like alias in the profiles in VS Code in Ubuntu, even the Windows. My office has a Windows, so I start learning how to create alias in Windows. So I learn a lot of things. So I create a alias. There are so many long path. So create a aliases. It will make your life easy. Like localhost 3033. Now go to the simple browser, and you can create a shortcut of that one. I have a Control Shift B shortcuts. That now I open localhost, and you can uh, like this is the browser, and I open one of the, and this is simple browser, and you can take it, move it here, right side. So it is there. So it is running. Right now it is nothing coming.
So you can code and see the
You
output
can code
sideways.
and see. You don't need to open the browser if you are
Yeah.
doing any very little things. Like I am writing some HTML, CSS, and just want to start it. So this is browser mode. Third is a Jane mode. Jane mode is very interesting. You want to, like I want to run it on one file. I just use start.js. Everything is there, and there are settings I set not within the. I want to see the numbering. I don't want to see in the center. There are many settings, and what is the best way to learning? Whenever the change log comes, even in the browsers, what's new in the release notes. If I see release notes, recently I come to know there is very interesting thing. Like if you take a screenshot and you directly put in the empty file, it will create a file. And few of the things, like most of the times what I need to do, I open the screencast mode, 2 3 screenshot. I always, like most of the time I have to copy and cut and paste. Don't do it. Use it some, like you have to move it. Just use control option. It will move. So you don't need to copy and paste. Sometimes you want to duplicate. You just want to control shift U. Now there is a problem. I don't know the keyboards. Okay, what is the keyboard shortcut for that one? Then you go to the keyboard settings, and this is very useful. Keyboard shortcuts. Now I only know the keys. I don't know what it is called. Don't worry. There is a this mode recording keys. Now you record the key. Control K, Control M. It will show what it is the code,
Ah, nice.
and you uncheck it, it will again go to that one. So I want to like join lines. I know that is join lines, but I want to join the lines. Suppose most of the times I have to join the lines. Like I want to join this thing with this one. So
Hmm.
I know Control J. I am doing Control J. It is not working. So I want to know what it is. Control J. Where is Control J? Is like I go there screencast mode. I go there. I see what is Control J. This is this, and that is a join lines that I know. So I go to the join lines. Okay, there is a alt j. So what I do control j. So it is joining the lines. So you know the keyboard shortcuts. You can write the keyboard you can capture the keyboard shortcuts, recording the key. So you don't remember. And if you want to change something, you can just click it. You change whatever I want it. Control Y. So it will now in the control Y.
Hmm.
Now it's a control Y, it is doing this same things. Control Y, it is doing the same thing. Second important explanation is code spell checker. That is very like you are working on one of the project. There is you have defined your keywords, right? You have defined your names. Our names are by default. It is saying there are wrong names because in the spell checker, if you write it,
Right.
okay. So you can create one of the like template. I have this one. Okay. C spell checker, one of the like extension C code spell checker. This is so good, and you can write your own directory. That this is my directory. Whatever written it here, I have VS Code. Inside VS Code, I have here dictionary, project words. I write my project word. My project name is Hello X. If I write Hello X, it will say it's a wrong word, wrong word, wrong word. So I write it here, or I can directly like, and team members. These are team members' names, suppose. So I write it here, and what I did in my workspace only.
Hmm.
I go to code spell thing, C spell. Okay, but now there are two things. Like you want to see the settings in the workspace. Here is the file you can open it. And now sometimes what we did, Problem is that we change some things. Now we're curious, okay, what we change, I want to return it, revert it. So there is a toggles, means there is things, you click on the modified. So whatever the modified things comes here, you don't need to worry what you change. All modified things comes here.
Hmm.
Like title of the page, always I remember like title of the page, long files, I want to remember the title, I want to change the title. It's not come like something. Many project long list. So I can change the titles. Few of the things like title things and yeah, I was telling about this one project words. So what I did, package JSON, C spell checker is there. And now I go to the settings, C spell. See here I have added like this is getting in my user JSON and this is the file. If you write you want to see the JSON, there is the JSON code of the specific settings. Now there is a profile also. I have different profiles. See I have a profiles for like Mac, Ubuntu, Windows 11. I need different profiles. Suppose when
Hmm.
I working with the Python, I create a different profile like Ubuntu. If I set Ubuntu, my Ubuntu specific settings or something comes profiles. Now code is spelled. If I go there, here I write C. This is the things. Like this is the my code and everything in my blog. I write the blogs. X Keshav. So suppose one of the meetup I say one Himantika, I think that is the name. She created NPX to like introduce themselves. I find it very interesting. So what I did, I also create one of the product like I create one of the package that will just render my details. So I create it and I learn it. They are using different packages, so I tried to remove it. Then finally, it will not working any of the project, any of the external library.
Hmm.
So that way, I come to learn many of the things. Like you go little bits, and you will go long. Like just know the right things while writing the code. Always follow the best practices. I say like lintings, file and folder structures. In the we heard it like in the software world, there are two most important problems. One is 80% is naming the variable names. I always concern about the variable names, how you name the variables. So learning these things will make you a very productive things. You shortcuts, you use shortcuts.
Absolutely. I learned some good ones actually now that I didn't know before. Especially, I think the screencast mode is something going to help me because sometimes I do something on the VS Code and maybe on for my YouTube videos, I'm doing something I can show like, we keep pressing something is happening.
And where I find the motivation in VS Code itself. Whenever I see the new release comes, I said, means you don't think whether it is required or not, they still updating every week. And so
Mm,
many good things. So you have a learning inspirations right behind in front of you. That how they can improve the things, like so many good things. You
correct.
like I see here you see git ignore inside there is lint rcgs. I don't make it anything. It's inside there is a feature. You just use nesting. Okay, nesting. And what you do, you just use the nesting things. So all your css means dot codes you can write. See, this is the nesting. I write that whatever the similar files will comes under this one, like
Oh,
tsconfig JSONs. All JSON files. My one of the project, if I show you, blog. Okay, here you see in the git ignore there are so many things. Editor config, right? It's not something I have folderized. This is inside the itself in the workspace. I nested it. How do I nested it? I just okay. I write in the settings itself because I need it for every project. So what I did it here is a nested. What I write whatever the git ignore, put it everything inside that one. Even it's work like star mark. So whatever the
mm,
package JSON, so TSX and JS automatically come into that one.
nice.
Like TS config JSON. So your this will be very like npm rc. I want to also write. And there is one thing like I try when I tried it when VS Code comes with one. My one of the file name is uppercase. I tried to uppercase, it is not working. I asked the question to the VS Code in GitHub, they replied it. So ask the right person the right question. You know where to ask.
Mm, that's
That is,
important.
yeah. So now npm rc without that. And there are discussion things like VS Code. Whenever you write something, there are discussion tapes also in the here discussions. Go to the discussion. Don't ask the question because this is not your problems. You want to discuss on something. So that there is a Microsoft VS Code discussions. So I said this is not working. So somebody answered me that this is work like this one. I want to create a snippet. So like React, I last thing I there are so many things I want to cover. TypeScript. I have to create every time like TypeScript code. One of the basic TypeScript code is there. So I create a snippets. Now I write a shortcut keywords. I create a snippet that automatically generate that ones.
So that you created as a VS Code extension?
No, no, no. This is inbuilt. You can create your own.
Okay,
This
okay.
how you want to create a task. Create like
Okay.
so you like blog. Whenever I write to blog, I know some of the things I have to always write.
Correct,
Like
correct.
VS, okay, and you can apply it any level. Like I create a new file, I just change it to a TypeScript. Okay, TypeScript React. Now what I do RFC. So React functional component. It will automatically generate based on your page because my
Right,
page name is untitled one. Now
right.
tab, if I write tab, it will automatically come to the what you want to. I write it alpha, so it will change all the places.
Hmm.
So you don't need to worry about it. So that is like snippets. So what you do, configure user snippets. You go to user snippets, configure snippets. There are snippets like React code snippet. I write it. See, this is RFC. This is I write. What is the body? And this is shortcut. And this is the scope. Only these file it should come.
Hmm.
So that is itself in the VS Code. How do you write use state? Whenever I write to use state, I know I have to create some things, use state, and then I have to write something like one is the uppercase, lowercase, right? Always. So what I do use state, I said day. Okay, it automatically set use state day, set day. So these are little hacks that will make your life fast.
Hmm. Yeah, you need to keep exploring and
Keep exploring. Correct.
yeah, and do it. Awesome. Thanks for sharing this. As we are coming towards the end, I will have few more things, mostly around interviews. That is another thing that I want to touch base. So, you have been taking interviews, I think, for various experiences.
Yes.
Uh, I don't want to ask you like what kind of preparation that individuals should take, but rather I want to know like what kind of gaps that you usually find out in interviewees that you think that those are very trivial. If they can try something, they can easily kind of bridge that gap. You know, what are those gaps?
Yeah. And because I said interview is not a one way, it's a two way. First of all, you want a job, you prepare it. Now there is a condition, you get the job and you go to the company, and now company you are not filing it good. What will you do? You again try it. So whenever interview is happening, you engage in your HR, you ask all the things because you are not employee of that one. You can ask and see their nature, empathy, how they
Hmm.
behave, how they react, how they schedule the interview, are they delaying it? It will show their culture. I have given so many interviews in so many big companies. You will taking interview is my hobby. I love it. What they are asking, whatever the interview asking, I write it. GitHub template. I have one of the repo. I write it because I failed many of the times. Means I don't. One of the Microsoft interview, they ask use state how it works. I was so fumbled because it's a Microsoft. It's my dream company. So sometimes you feel it, and I feel it. I feel it gracefully. I said, okay, I don't, I know it, but the time I want to tell it's no like exams. You know everything. You have to prepare, but don't panic that one. You have to be because you are going to be your future employee. You have to behave like that. Empathy should come from both ends. You have to say that whether he is trying to order you or trying to assist you. So that things you first come to know now doing like technical interview something you like always ask the question which you can answer. Don't so yeah like you ask something okay create a observer patterns of something and create a promise. That's the most boring things I like. Create a promise. Why to create a promise? There is a promise. Ask within the promise because finally you have, because they say oh, we have to learn the fundamental. That is okay. Async await you ask async await you want to know the fundamental. Go further na. Create a promise and everything. I know. Ask the promise how promise works. So sometimes you have to know whether they are asking very fundamentals, what's their scope, like browser company. A browser company you are giving interview, you have to know everything like data structures, why processes, because that matters to you, matters to them. You have to know that bits and pieces. If you are going to build a UI for a e-commerce website, you should not be very much about that one. Means you because you are again position what you are applying again you are applying as a fresher. I always like freshers you ask questions, you ask them if you are failing it, you ask gracefully, sir I don't know, can you help me? If he try to help you then you are in a good it that is a good company. And if you failed it you try again, you keep in the checkbox okay इस company में again try करूँगा. मुझे अच्छी लगी. So you, because it's not like you, what happens sometimes like, or and always, this is a good tricks, always give interview when you have stable jobs. It's a good thing. When you have a girlfriend, whenever breakup happens, you find whatever girls or boys, you find it very good because they are doing sympathy and you need supports. Don't do it. Do it whenever already you have. Means this is, so whenever you already have, you can do the negotiation, right? You can, you have no pressures. You try to do the interview as much as possible. Don't say I have a job. You go there, you ace it. If you ace it, it build confidence. If you don't do it, you will learn something. So keep brushing yourself, because keeping books is not, keep brushing yourself and go with very small companies. They are doing something good. It's not like I have to go like JP Morgan Chase. You are in JP Morgan Chase, so you are saying anything. No, no, no. I learn everything in the smallest company, even Jira and everything. I only learn here the process, and that is also very important. Process, accessibility, in empathy testing, unit testing. Everybody hate it. Now AI, thanks to the AI, they can do the job, play right. So they are their friends. Make them friends. Don't make them enemy. They will help you. You ask your AI very promptly that I need it. Recently, today I want doing like Chat GPT. I asking something, he is replying something. I am furiously saying I don't need it. I need a latest one. So there's a color like in CSS, like latest random comes. Kelsey size is coming. Overflow scroll. I said, give me a little bit examples. I just copy it. Now I have to play around it. They will just give you the, that's a light. You do that like a street lights, you can say. They just give you the path. You have to go your own path. So whenever you do interview, don't fussle it. If you are not doing it, don't worry about it. Just note down what went wrong. You can try it better next time. Better, maybe you get a better things. You may learning. I always do. Whenever I fail it, I complete that project after the interview and upload it on my GitHub. So then
Yeah.
I have a confidence now that I can do it. Or even I can fail again the same question because I try to
Mm.
memorize. Some like search. Whenever search comes, I know that two things. Like one is throttling and
Mm.
one
Give
is
answering.
debouncing. So I throttling, I learn it.
Mm.
Debouncing, I learn it.
Mm.
Whenever interview asked, I mixed it. So one day, one interviewer, he was really good. He told me, no, no, don't write the code. First think about it. I was not thinking like that because initially, instead of we just write the code, gets it done. Okay, कर लेते हैं. Then you stop it yourself. थोड़ा सा रुको. सोचो कि हम ये क्यों कर रहे हैं. Every code you write, you have to mess around it. Think destructive, be constructive. Whenever you're writing a user input, you said, how can you break that one? You have to think destructive. As much as destructive you think, you will be constructive.
Cool, 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 cool. Yeah, nice tips. So I hope that people who are listening us today will be benefited from this. So as we're coming towards the end of this awesome podcast, I'm kind of learning a lot of stuff, enjoying it a lot. I need less to say. Um, so I want to know a bit about like you like the meetup culture, I guess, because I see you in many meetups. We met in many meetups. You started appearing as a speaker as well, recently. So the last question of today is like, how important are these for a developer in today's world? I have seen like if it is like Saturday, Sunday, many folks would like to just chill out because this is like a no working day. I'm slogging from Monday to Friday. Why should I do something extra on Saturday, Sunday? The other side of the coin says that Saturday, Sunday is like, why should I just bore myself being at home? Let's go out and learn something, right? So, what do you think? What is the significance of doing such things?
Yes. So I have been in many cities. What good thing about Bangalore is this vibe. And if you catch this vibe, you are in a good place. Means only Bangalore is the place. There are so many meetups happening. I go most of the meetups. I go one of the meetups like psychology meetups. I go there. Why I go there? One is food. खाना मिलता है बाहर जाओ कुछ खाने को मिलेगा बढ़िया दैट इज गुड वन थिंग्स योर नीड या बेसिक नीड इज फूड व्हाट वी आर डूइंग इट देयर इज नो सेम इट समटाइम्स आई गो फॉर द फूड सेकंड इज मर्चेंडाइज गुडीज कुछ मिल जाए थर्ड थिंग नेटवर्किंग दैट्स अप टू यू यू वांट टू नेटवर्क और नॉट फोर्थ थिंग्स दैट इज like you come to know what people are running what sometimes like there are two three because I have written because I have a big books whatever the like all the meetups I go I write each and every speaker's names their title I write it I don't mobile not mobile because it will be forever I remember that things no ये अच्छा किया because that review I can give to myself यार ये ठीक था इसने ये किया तो मैं भी कर सकता था. That will encourage me. Okay, you are also doing good. Why you don't to go and do it and don't save it. If you are failing it, it's good. If you are trying, if you are failing means you are trying.
Yeah.
If you are not trying, you are not failing. जो घर से निकला ही नहीं वो रास्ता कहाँ भटकेगा? रास्ता तो
Mm.
वही भटकेगा जो घर से निकला है. So I like this culture very much and uh, always don't stick with one thing. Go different. Like once I go with the once we made there right that that bar in the
Mm.
SSR. That
Mm.
was different kind of experience for me. मैंने कहा अरे यार यहाँ पे कुछ बोल नहीं रहा कुछ बोल नहीं रहा सिर्फ बातें कर रहे हैं. मैंने कहा this is also good things. अभी recently happened that in Coban Park right with Pradesh Raiti. That is also so you don't bound yourself. मुझे यही पैटर्न पे करना है. Never in the life, never in the programming needs. You have to explore different kind. I explore Bangalore a lot. You say every Saturday Sunday my program is one Saturday Sunday I go to the Meetup. One Saturday Sunday I go to the Chickpet. I know each and every because I am a Marwadi. I love it. So I go there, I explore that because you have to learn your cities. You have to explore the cities. So beautiful it is. Is traffic is there, but traffic is here, and people are cursing the traffic only when they are going to office.
Yeah.
Most of the times, Zomato, Swiggy people are suffering. We are not. They are not able to complain.
True.
Go through the cities, explore the people. People are so many good things are there. City में जाओ तो पता चलता this is the city we are living in the village and that's our fate. But you don't stick. There is 30 kilometer. I go, okay, and explore whole day because exploring there is no unlimited way to explore. Okay, बच्चों जो we have family, you know हमें सस्ते चीज कहाँ मिलेगी और अच्छी चीज कहाँ मिलेगी. Go to the market, explore there one. That will make you add on that you know the city also. Somebody come from the city first time as a technical even he needs some help where to go there. Where is what.
Yeah.
So you say, okay, go to Google it. I also hate it. Like we are being so much digitally. Most of the time, this is one of the joke. When I landed to the Bangalore, there is traffic not on the roads. Most of the traffic is in the mobiles. Whenever there are 30, 20 different mobile apps, Swiggy, Zomato, Zepto. That is a good thing. But we forgot the human touch. नीचे नारियल पानी मिलता है, but वहाँ से नहीं मंगाएंगे. They will Swiggy it, they will something it. वो आएगा. You don't interact with the people, don't interact with the human. That is lost here. We are so too much digital, and these meetups is a good opportunity to meet the humans.
Right.
We talk to them. So you will come to know कि this is the person I meet many. I don't remember. People remember us, and we remember some people. And you create that glimpse. Okay, ये बंदा जिसे आप तपास है. I remember that way. Okay, तपास. I remember that one. How what he do. And कभी भी किसी की प्रोग्रेस है ना देख तो you have to inspire yourself. क्योंकि यार ये अच्छा कर रहा है तुम क्यों नहीं कर रहे हो. Either you do it और नहीं कर पा रहे हो तो कम से कम ये तो मत करो ये कर रहा है यार ये तो कर रहा है मैं तो नहीं कर पा रहा हूँ. Don't do it. ये कर रहा है you can do it. If you don't want you want to do something do it and explore it and go and tell the people that I did it. Then people will judge you.
Cool. Yeah, I hope that you keep this momentum on, and we'll be meeting again very soon in some of the meetup very soon. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I wish that. So thank you very much, man, for doing this. We had a very candid chat, and I hope that if you are watching us, if you are listening to us, whether on YouTube or on Spotify, you would like that. And if you do so, please post a like. And if you have anything to discuss with Keshav, his all the details will be there in the description of this video. You can always reach out to him. If you want to reach out to him personally in Bangalore, come to any meetup.
Yeah.
I am sure that you will find him and you can say him hi. Yeah. So with that, Keshav, again, thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed talking
I
here. You
enjoyed it.
enjoyed.
I don't know what because I made a list. I have a list CSS things. One day I will do the CSS because I love it. But so many things I want to go like people see the things. Things are easy. Don't get means लोग क्या बोलते हैं उसे कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ता. You have to be and it's you apply in your life. Take is your one of the version.
Yeah. True. And maybe in future we can get together again to do a CSS only session where we can actually teach people from like how to get started with CSS, what are the basic fundamentals that we need to know, how to learn them. I like CSS session, intense CSS
Yeah.
session. That will be really awesome thing to do. We'll connect again on that. So with that note, I'd like to end the podcast today. Take care, everyone. Have a great day and good night. Thank you.
Bye.